Hey guys, I'm going to share with you today a way that I've used to get listings. It worked for me for about the last 10 years and it'll work for you. You will get plenty of usage. And I'm going to share a couple other things on this video, but mainly if you'll start looking how agents are using their signs. I know that might sound a little bit crazy, but when we get through this presentation, I think you'll agree. And I'm going to tell you to go after mainly expireds. Why expireds? Well, the expired homeowner is much more likely to be realistic on price. As you know, if you've been in real estate for a while, almost every for sale by owner has a completely unrealistic idea on price. And the expired home owner is going to make a decision pretty quickly. Whereas if you're prospecting for sale by owners, they may not decide whether or not to list for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, who knows? The expired usually list within a week or two at the most, so they make decisions quickly. Are more realistic on price because they've been through trying to sell their home, unlike the for sale by owner. They're probably already unhappy with their past agent company or it wouldn't have expired. And if you select the right expireds, and I'll share what I mean by that, you really have something to offer. And also the sales cycle is way shorter on an expired listing. Why is that? Because more expireds are priced realistically sale by owners. Oh, I took a bike ride this past Sunday, and all these signs that you're going to see coming up here are signs that I saw on my bike ride. I didn't sort through them. I just took pictures. I think it's 9, 10, maybe 11 signs. I'm not sure. But I'm going to, and it's kind of typical of signage. But you'll notice sign has an extra spot for a rider, and that rider spot is not filled up. This sign's kind of old and ratty also, but notice there are no brochure box. No brochure box. No brochure box and an empty rider spot for another sign. No brochure box. No brochure box. No brochure box. No brochure box and an empty spot for a rider sign. Now, why is that important? Well, a lot of you might be thinking, and probably that's why fewer and fewer agents are using brochure boxes. Well, everything's digital. No, a lot of our work is digital. A lot of our advertising, a lot of our marketing is digital. But people are writing by these listings every day and all day. And if you put a brochure box out there and you keep brochures in that box, you just might get a buyer. And it's happened to me, I can't tell you how many times. And the way you want to use this with the expireds is you let those homeowners know that every single listing you have a brochure box and you make sure it stays full with brochures. And the way you do that is you give your seller a stack of 40 or 50 or 100 of those flyers so that box never gets empty. And you're also always going to use a unique rider. When I say a unique rider, let's say it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home. Just pay 12 or 15 bucks, have a rider made that says 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. Put that in there. Each one of your signs is going to be unique and different. So I tell you to work expireds, this is what you want to look for. You want to look for expireds who previous agent used bad photos, and you'll see a lot of those. You want to look for expireds where the previous agent used the wrong first photo. Might have been a good photo, but wasn't the right first photo. Then you want to look for homes that have been listed multiple times and they've switched realtors each time. It's powerful stuff. And what you're going to do is let these sellers know you always use brochure boxes. You always keep the brochure box full. It's another pet peeve of mine. I can't believe how many signs I ride by. Number one, less than 10%. Have brochure boxes, period, which is amazing. They should all have brochure boxes. But of the ones that have brochure boxes, I'm going to say a majority of agents never fill them beyond the first time because most of the brochure boxes that I see, which aren't many, are empty. So you're going to let sellers know you always have brochure boxes. You always have professional photos taken. You don't take your own photos. You hire a professional photographer. You always use the right first photo. And you're going to explain to them why all these things are so important. You will get listings, trust me. This is a Gallup poll. I love sharing this, but this is what the public thinks of our industry. And Gallup does this every year. I do have the 2017 one. I should have thrown it in there. Don't have 2018 yet, but they ask the public to rank all these industries based on a high trust level. And you'll see where that arrow is. Real estate agents fall below lawyers and public trust. You know, that's a bad thing for the industry, but it's a good thing for you. You're not going to be like all the other realtors, and you're going to let these sellers know you are different, and you need to be different. So I have shared with a lot of people, and I have a few hundred agents already below me using a company called Banner Season. I send out personalized cards. And this is an example of the first card that they would get from me, an expired listing. Your listing is expired. Are you satisfied with your previous realtor? And that photo on the front of that card is always of their home. I ride by and take a photo of that expired home. On the inside, the message isn't always the same. There's no real magic in this message. With Banner Season, you can not only customize cards, but you can send gifts and customize gifts. This particular home was a for sale by owner. I put the picture of the home on the front of the card with a little tag there, awesome family home, great location. Sent them a coffee mug with a photo of their home, and I put Home Sweet Home on there. And I also sent them some cake bars with a photo of their home with their name on it. It's powerful stuff. Keep in mind what they're getting from everybody else is phone call, phone call, phone call. And they're getting company information dropped off or mailed. And then from me, they get a box, or from you, they'll get a box with gifts, one or more gifts personalized to them, and a card with the photo of their home on it. Banner Season started about 4 months ago. They offer big cards. Previous card that I showed you was 5 inches by 11 inches, which is a great card, and that's what I use most. But they started using 8.5 by 11 cards. We started offering 8.5 by 11 cards. And not only do you customize the card, just like you did the smaller cards, but you customize the envelope that this 8.5 by 11 card comes in. So this is one I sent. It was actually a thank you letter to that particular home. But the front of the envelope is their house. Now, people get between 2 and 10 pieces of mail a day. When they get a big envelope, these are like 9 by 12, these envelopes. And the entire front of the envelope is their house. It impresses them. You can see there's room for postage, room for the address, and room for the return address. And on the inside is the card. You design all 4 panels of the card, the front panel, 2 inside panels, and the rear panel. It's the same way you design the envelope to look any way you want. Quite often inside a card, I'll use these sayings. You know, which realtor should I list property with? These are the 3 biggest objections that I've gotten most over 26 years. My friend or a family member sells real estate, or I'm going to list with the agent who agrees with my selling price. Huge mistake, but we get that a lot. Or I'm going to list with the agent who has the lowest commission. So I like to address that right up front. It's something I send them early. This is the kind of stuff they're getting from everybody else. It's all good stuff, but it's all about how great the agent is or how great the company is. You're going to send them items that have their photo on it of their home. Blows them away. BannerSeason.com, if you want to check that out, I can honestly say it is the best strategy I used in 26 years of real estate. So you go to BannerSeason.com to check it out. In order to join, you're going to need an invitation code. So I'm going to ask you to, whoever sent you this video, contact them. If I sent you the video, contact me. If someone else did, please contact them to get their invitation code. My name's Jim McCord. I don't think I gave you a background. I've been licensed 26 years. I'm still licensed. I'm licensed in Ohio and Kentucky. About 10 years ago, I started doing things differently, and it worked really, really well for me. My first 15 years, I did the conventional cold phone calling, door knocking, farming, a massive amount of mailings. I did because that's how I was coached. About 10 years ago, I started sending these custom cards. They were really phenomenal. And then I started adding gifts when I switched to Banner Season. So about 4 years ago, I wrote a book, and I've got all these strategies I talked about and plenty more in this book, Revolution in Real Estate Sales. You can get that on Amazon for $9.95. It's a phenomenal book. Guys, have a great day. Go out there, get some expireds. It's easy picking if you pick the right ones. Make sure you always use a brochure box. Always have a custom writer made for each listing. Guys, have a great day. And please feel free to contact me. You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. I love talking to realtors. Have a great day.